Welcome to Sarcastic Rambles. So, this is, I guess, officially the first episode. The last episode would have been the introduction episode. So, this episode of Sarcastic Rambles, I'm going to discuss cancer. Not my cancer, but stories from patients of cancer and some caregivers and volunteers, doctors, and nurses that I've heard over the past 26 years. Yes, 26 years of dealing with this. My first bout of breast cancer was 26 years ago. Wow. If you have been diagnosed with or had a scare of, know someone who has had or is dealing with, especially if you love someone who has any understanding of these stories, I will keep all individuals' names private and unanimous, not unanimous. There goes words, anonymous. So, let's begin. I'm going to start out by saying, in no uncertain terms, and bluntly, every person touched in any way by cancer will tell you. Cancer sucks. Now, in my words, in my unfiltered, sarcastic rambles way, cancer sucks. Big, pus-infected moose balls. Now we shall move on, and I shall filter myself a bit after clearing that all up. Every hospital is different in the way that the atmosphere is and how the patients are there. If the atmosphere is one way in the cancer center at the hospital, then the patients may act differently. So bear with me as I tell you. It's like I said, it's different in every hospital. I have sat in 3 different hospital cancer centers, and in all 3, it's been different. So I'm going to speak more so about Beth Israel Deaconess in Plymouth, which is, for some, will know as Jordan Hospital. And this is all partly due to the staff there. You will hear a lot of laughter coming from the chemo room. Usually it's from really bad dad jokes or some really silly family stories. And because Beth Israel is in Plymouth and it's on the way to the Cape, you'll hear a lot of family vacation trip stories or traveling stories. So, and also sarcastic comments there. Yep. I have heard so many stories of patients' initial reactions, especially to their diagnoses, their initial reactions. They range anywhere from nope, not possible, couldn't happen to me, I need a second opinion immediately. What now? How long do I have? That's a great one, because when people hear they have cancer, a lot of times they think you have cancer, here's your toe tag. That's not the case. I'm here. When do we start? How do we start? Why me? Denial. Not the Nile, but denial. And there are so many other reactions. And then once the patient has gone through all those reactions, when they then go home and they tell others, their friends and their family, they then react with the same reactions. So it's like a week's worth of those reactions. So I have heard of doctors who have driven to see their patients in hospice on a non-scheduled day. A doctor, after hearing how their patient was having financial issues, went to an ATM, pulled out $500, and donated it to that patient anonymously. I've heard of nurses who have gone out of their way on their lunch breaks to access a port of a patient who is admitted into the hospital in another department so that their veins are not damaged any further. I have heard about patients that when they are diagnosed, their lifelong best friends have ghosted them. I've heard of other people who the patient has never realized that this person cared so much about them, has gone out of their way and spent an 8-hour chemo session sitting there with them. There are people who have dropped off food for a patient who can handle that special food just to make them happy. I've heard of people receiving stuffed animals, balloons, fruit baskets, flowers, all sorts of just little things on any given day just to make a patient, cheer them up when they're having a very tough day. There's a lot more, many more stories. However, I'm not going to bore you with those. Just trying to get to a point. You may hear a patient say, I am so sick of this, or I don't want to do this anymore, or I can't go on. It's not that they're trying to say I'm done or that they're through. What they're saying is I need a break, or I want a break. They're saying I want a vacation, but they're not. They know they can't have a vacation, but they want one. Just because they can't have one doesn't mean they don't want one. Their bodies and their minds are sick of it, but they know it's not possible, and they just need to voice that frustration at times, because it gets really, really tiresome, especially if they're going through a really rough regimen. So just bear with them. Give them a hug. Let them know you're there. Let them know you hear them. You understand. Not that you understand, but you get what they're saying. 'Cause yeah, it's tough. Also, you know those GoFundMe pages out there for that cancer patients put out there? They are not poor me pages, or I don't know what some people have called them. You gotta remember, financially, cancer patients go through an awful lot, and it's not the medical costs. I mean, other than medically, the prescriptions and the co-pays. But you have to remember, the hospital is not just next door. A lot of them are having to drive maybe 30 plus miles twice a day, back and forth, meaning sometimes 5 days a week, not 7 usually, but 5 days a week. Then you may have throw in radiation, throw in a doctor's appointment, lab work, CAT scan, MRIs, x-rays, PET scan, special foods. There's a lot financially that goes into it. There's not poor me's. Then there's having to take time off from work, not being able to work. There's a lot. So I just wanted to let you know they are actually cries for help. Even after all is said and done, and it's all over, years later, there is what happens to the body, the bones, the brain, the memory, the energy level, the mental health. and so much more. So, when you are thinking, oh, it's all said and done, sometimes it's not all said and done. But believe me, that fight and that conquering, it's all worth it. It really is. I wouldn't trade it for a minute. It's tough sometimes. I made a lot of new friends. I found some of my old friends. I lost some really good friends along the way. But no, I wouldn't trade this fight that I went through with cancer. 26 years of various cancers. But I met some amazing, strong people that taught me a lot along the way. And I am proud to have met and proud to have fought next to. And yeah, I'm glad I am who I am. And I have an amazing family and amazing friends and some great social networks. And you people make it worth it. So I want to thank you all. So that is all. I hope you all had a wonderful week and you have a great upcoming week. And enjoy and stay tuned. And we are not going to talk about cancer again for a while. Next time we'll talk about something fun and exciting, and I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Suggestions, comments, criticism, always welcome. And hit that subscribe and share button. Tell your friends and so on, and go have fun. Good night.